guys, so today I'm going to be looking at people reveal their scariest camping experiences. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. Went camping in a tent. Woke up to a weird feeling that I was laying on something. Then I felt it move. A snake had made its way under my tent and I think it was trying to get warm as it stopped moving right under where my back was. After me moving a bit, it finally went on its merry way. I will never forget how it felt moving underneath me. I've never went camping before. This is why, right? I guess I just don't like nature. Honestly. Oh my gosh, like bears, snakes, everything. I mean, I'm pretty sure we don't really have bears here in Australia. We see kangaroos. There are no kangaroos in the city or the suburbs. I feel like people just think we see kangaroos in our backyards or something. Nope. We see a lot of spiders though. As if that's better. No, that's not better. I was camping once in Michigan in a pretty secluded spot with distinct individual campsites. It was in the fall, so dead leaves were all over the ground. When we were settling in to sleep, we started to hear these slow, consistent footsteps on the leaves. They'd walk around the campsite, circle our tent, just walk all around without any clear goal and without stopping. Obviously, we assumed it was some kind of animal, but when we rushed out with a light, there was nothing. I mean, no sound, no trace of anything. Once we were back in the tent, these footsteps immediately started up again, and they didn't come from far away. They started up right next to our tent. We repeated this whole rigmarole probably 3 more times because of how distinct and close and creepy those footsteps were, and we never caught even a glimpse of what was walking around. The next morning, we were sitting by the fire and started hearing the steps again, only to look down and realize it was the sound of multiple small frogs hopping around the campsite. What? It was frogs? Okay. Honestly, I thought it was going to be like a bear. Something wild, you know, like something furry and scary that has teeth, you know, not a frog. That's so anticlimactic though. Oh, I got you. Oh, it's just a frog. I was pretty young, went camping with my dad in Alabama. It's late at night, the embers of the fire are dying down. We're about to go to sleep when we hear what I can only describe as a bone-chilling moan in the woods. We looked at each other and decided it was trees rubbing together. But then it happened 2 more times. My dad grabbed a flashlight and I walked behind him with a big stick, determined I would save him if something went wrong. Eventually, we discover a woman lying on the ground, not far from our campsite. She was on a hill with her head facing down, feet uphill, continuing to moan. Turns out she had so much to drink that she could hardly talk, but she was also camping out in these woods with her boyfriend. They had a big fight and he drove away, leaving her alone in the forest. She had seen our fire dying and wanted to give us the rest of her firewood before she left too, but had tripped and was too drunk to get up. We got her back to her campsite and made sure she wasn't driving anywhere that night. I will never forget that moaning sound though. Her boyfriend left her in the woods. You don't need no boyfriend who's gonna leave you out in the wild. And she was drunk as well. How could he do that to her? I really hope she broke it off with him. Thank gosh that these people saw her first, because who knows what could have been out there in the wild. Ugh. That boyfriend. Thought our tent was being attacked by 3 bears. Turns out someone's dog just got loose and the light outside made them look gigantic. That's freaking scary. Like, even seeing like a dog in the wild is scary because you don't know. It might not be a dog, it might just be a wolf, right? Used to camp at this fairly secluded spot on state land. It has since been discovered and become popular, unfortunately. I've been going to that site since I was a kid, and it had become an annual tradition for my buddies and I to kinda unplug and rough it for a few days. However, at the time, a little over 15 years now, it was relatively unknown and it was a bit of a trek to get to the campsite. Middle of the woods, but close to a lake, perfect for swimming. We're talking no cell signal, no light pollution, you're just out in the wilderness. My buddies and I were geeked to get out there and spend the week camping every summer. One summer afternoon, I'm the first to arrive, ready for a week of camping, drinking and swimming. However, to my dismay, I discover that the site already has an established campsite going. There's a couple tents set up. Granted, it's a fairly large campsite, so I decide to haul my gear over and see if I can talk to the other campers into letting us share the spot. Who knows, they might be cool and maybe it'll be one big party. I come up to the site and there's no people. The tents are empty. There was evidence of a campfire, so I know there were people here not too long ago. I decide to check the lake. Maybe they went swimming. There's a steep path that leads from the site to the lake, and as I'm walking alongside it, there's a sleeping bag, some tools, and some clothes that had been on a line, but now they're all in the dirt. All evidence that this site has actually been set up for a while. The clothes are wet with ditch water. They've been sitting on the ground in the path for some time. There's no people at the lake, and when I return to the site upon further investigation, I discover that this site has been abandoned for some time. But that doesn't explain why they just left everything behind. From what I could tell, the people camping here had left in a big hurry. There's clothes, there's food and other gear. I mean, it's an entire camp. The tents were fairly new. I mean, it's not just stuff that you would leave behind, unless you're scrambling and only grabbing the essentials. What was weird to me was that the fire was out, and there's still ice in their coolers and beers, so it couldn't have been too long ago that they were there. My other buddies arrive, and we decide to set camp nearby and keep an eye on it. Maybe the people had to leave for an emergency or something. We wind up camping out the whole week, and no evidence of people coming back to retrieve the stuff. Luckily, the DNR happened to stop by on patrol, and we filled them in on our discovery. They let us know they'll be packing up the stuff and take it into a lost and found up at the station. Kinda creepy, mostly weird. Who knows what happened to those people? Oh, so they just all left in a hurry? I think they got the answer themselves, to be honest. I think they did leave because there was an emergency. Maybe like someone got hurt or something, and everyone just panicked and they all had to leave. Because I think that's what I would do too. Like if someone got hurt and something happened, I wouldn't be packing up everything. I would just go to the car and leave. These things we can get back whenever we want, but if someone's life is in danger, every second matters. Imagine if there wasn't an emergency though. Something in the lake just pulled all of them in. Honestly, I've watched too many like monster movies where that's like the best case scenario, if it's a movie, of course. Right, like this big crocodile just ate everyone. We were teenagers, 16 and 18, and went up alone. No. We made dinner and were having a good time in the evening when some guy passed by our site in the river. He asked to go through our site to the road, and we figured it was harmless enough and said yeah. He stopped and looked around our site and started asking us questions. How old are you? Where are you from? How long are you staying? Typical questions that were none of his business, but we were naive enough to answer. He eventually leaves and heads down the canyon on the road. A couple hours later, he shows back up with a buddy. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Oh my gosh, I'd be so scared. Both of these guys are middle-aged, probably mid-40s. They start asking more questions. The original guy walks around and snoops about our campsite. We got an uneasy feeling and were super grateful when they eventually left. But they went up the canyon rather than back where they came from. Another couple hours pass and it's dark. My friend mentions how she can't hear anything because of the river and it had her a bit antsy. We talked and it turned out we had both been on edge since the guys left. We had never seen them go back down the canyon. We both had a gut feeling that we needed to leave fast. Maybe nothing would have happened, but we both felt it. These guys asked all the right questions to know that we would be there alone and defenseless that night. I'm so glad they left. Oh my gosh. That's so scary. Ugh. Thank gosh they trusted the gut feelings, honestly. Like no normal guy would ask teenagers, hey, what's up? What are you doing here? La-di-da-da. And then they drive off and they come back with a friend. Yeah, no normal person is going to do that because they know how they're going to make these teenagers feel if they do that. If they do that, then they're a creep for sure. Maybe they were harmless, but dude, they were very suspicious. Creepy behavior. Solo camping in the middle of nowhere. When I woke up in the morning, someone had made a cup of tea and partially drunk it in the middle of the night. No sign of anyone anywhere. Yeah. That's freaking creepy. Someone just went to the campsite, sat down, made a cup of tea, and then just left it there. That's the scariest. Oh, geez, this one gives me goosebumps because who knows what they were doing, right? What if they watched them sleep for a bit? Oh, ugh. Yeah, this is why I don't go camping. Actually, I don't even go out. Nice. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.